Does Brad Pitt have a need for speed? Let's talk about the new racing drama F1 the movie. Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watcher Pass, and Apple is taking on the sports drama now as they were talking about F1 the movie, which comes to theaters on June 27, 2025. It is an Apple original film. It is about a very popular sport in the world, and I think it's becoming more popular in America. Formula One racing. Is this race one that you're going to want to attend? Well, my hot take is I think you should watch it. I was kind of between a watch it and a watch later, but overall, I think this is a fun movie to see in theaters. It is just an entertaining sports drama with a great cast. Fun action, wonderful sounding music, and some clever writing. It's very much like Rocky 5 in race form. It's a little bit long, it's cheesy, it has, some ridiculous character shifts, but overall, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It is a long movie though. It is 2 hours and 36 minutes. So, buckle up, strap in, get bolted into your, cockpit for this ride because it is a long one, but it is a fun one. And you might be wondering, hey, look, like after this 2 hour movie, 2 hour, 30-minute movie, should I stay for the credits? Is there anything there? There are some scenes during the credits, some scenes that kind of continue the story. So they're fun to see. They're not necessary. You've already had a pretty long experience by them, but you've made it this far. You might as well finish the race. I don't think there's anything at the end. I had to leave because it was very, very long, but I don't think there's any stinger at the very, very end of the movie. So, all that being said, I'm gonna tell you about the movie, a few things I like, a few things I didn't like, and then really quickly go into a recap. So as you can imagine, there'll be spoilers in the recap section. If you don't know what happens in this movie, and you might not, there are some surprises, there's some twists, there's some big character changes along the way. I would turn it off when we get to the recap. Before that, though, I'll keep it vague. I'll keep it spoiler free. Let you know when we get to the spoilers. So in F1 the movie, you have Brad Pitt playing Sonny Hayes, who was a kind of like washed up racer. He was really big in the 90s, had a really promising career. Then that seemed to get derailed, but he might have one last chance to prove that he can do it when a desperate team calls him to try to turn around their fortune. So, things I liked about this movie. The first, look, I love the sound. It's a racing movie. The sound is amazing. It's fantastic. It's definitely, if you see it in the theater, it's going to be great. The hum of the engines, the like zip of the cars, the tires on the pavement, it all sounds fantastic. And if you're going to see it in a big theater, it's even better. Second thing I love the music. It has a nice kind of like mix of kind of like 80s hair metal music and also a wonderful score by Hans Zimmer. It is a nice balance, but the music definitely helps to like fit with the tone of the movie and also like up the drama. The third thing I love, like I love the cast. You got a good cast here. Brad Pitt does a nice job as Sonny. A little bit cheesy at times, like I said later, but overall likable, enjoyable. Kerry Condon does a great job as Kate, the like main mechanic, the main kind of engineer for this team. Javier Bardem is in it. Damson Idris does a great job as like Sonny's teammate slash foil at times. So it is just a fun overall cast that tells this story. The fourth thing I loved has some clever writing, some very funny moments, some like little fun jabs here and there. It is a sports drama, so you're gonna have some of that, and there are definitely moments that'll make you smile and make you chuckle. And the fifth thing I loved, it has some cool tech showcase. Like Formula One is very much a tech heavy sport. Apparently, there's a lot of analysis, there's a lot of like simulation, things like that, and this shows it. It feels like this could be a real Formula One team. Like the look is very clean, very kind of futuristic. Everything about this screams high class, wealth, and all of that, and it is really really fun to see. And the last thing I loved, all the action. It is a racing drama. The action better be good, and the racing action is very good with the sound, with the music, with all the kind of like tension that happens. You are going to be holding your breath and cheering on as these. So that being said, things I didn't love as much. The first, I wanted more tech, maybe more like the nuts and bolts of how, Formula One is. It would have been nice to know like some more of the tech details. A lot of times in American movies, in a race movie, you'll get, the horsepower of the car, the tweaks that happen, like a spoiler. There's some of that. There's some equipment changes, but I would have liked it to kind of dig in more. I would have liked to know more about the cars, more about like what unique things that they have that make them so fast, so agile, things like that. We get little dabblings here and there, but it would have been nice to have like a deeper, deeper dive. Second thing I didn't love as much, it's cheesy. It is definitely a sports drama that has some cheesy moments. Some of that is expected. Some of it feels overly cheesy. Just kind of like let it roll over you because there are some like silly moments, some moments that are definitely meant to, you know, make you cheer, make you tug on your heartstrings. Sometimes they work, sometimes they feel a little bit too hammy. The third thing I didn't love as much, there's some weird character turns, some very abrupt, very strange character turns that happen. Feels like there's not a great consistency to some of these characters as we are taking this journey. But again, that is also kind of expected. The fourth thing I didn't love as much, there is an unnecessary romance here. It didn't feel needed. It felt superfluous to the story. It felt kind of like almost expected, like lazy writing, that kind of stuff. And the last thing I didn't love as much, it is overly long. You'll probably say, hey, David, your review is overly long. It probably will be, but it is not going to be 2 hours and 36 minutes long. This movie is a very, very long journey. So just buckle in. So all that being said, F1 the movie comes to theaters on June 27, 2025. Like I said, I think you should watch it. I think it is a fun movie to see in theaters. I think it'll entertain you. It'll be enjoyable. And look, price performance, get 2 hours and 36 minutes of movie for one ticket. Can't go wrong with that. So I definitely think you should see it in theaters. If you do watch it, let me know what you think. Let me know what you like and didn't like. I'd love to hear it. I'm going to really quickly go into a recap. So if you don't know what happens in this movie, I would turn it off now because there will be spoilers. So the movie focuses on Sonny Hayes, who is this kind of like mercenary racer. He was a big deal in the 90s, seemed like he was the next up and coming racer, but an injury that happened early in his career kind of derailed his whole racing career and his life as well. He was in a race, he took a turn a little bit too hard, crashed into the wall, injured himself, messed up his back, messed up his confidence, left the sport for 10 years, and then showed back up. It's kind of racing anything, racing wherever. It seems like he will pop in, race, and then move on. Never wants to like be tied to a team, never wants to be tied down, wants to just kind of like have a nomadic lifestyle and make enough money just to get to the next race. So he starts off jumping into some sort of 24-hour race. It's not F1, but he jumps in like for a night shift. And when he jumps in, he shows how good he is. He takes his team from like seventh to first. They win the race. And rather than like stick around and celebrate, he, gets his check and jumps in his car and keeps moving to the next race. But he gets approached by an old friend, an old racing buddy, Ruben, who now owns an F1 team. Believe it was Apex. Was the name of the like racing team, but they are doing very poorly. They have not won a single thing. They're kind of the laughing stock, and Ruben is worried that he's going to get the boot. So he wants to bring his old friend Sonny to kind of see if he can juice it up, see if he can turn around their fortunes. Sonny doesn't want to. Sonny just, doesn't want to be tied to a team. He wants to keep racing. Doesn't want to go back on this stage. But Ruben seems to convince him. Ruben seems to like stroke his ego, like tell him, if you win an F1, you're the best in the world for that day. It is the top of the top. And I think Sonny also maybe feels a little sense of loyalty to Ruben. They were old friends. They were old kind of like racing rivals, and so he I think wants to help him out. So Sonny jumps in on a plane. So he takes the plane ticket, goes over to the team, and instantly he is not a culture fit. He is not refined like a lot of F1 people. He is like a straight shooter. He's a little bit gruff, and he also starts to clash with his teammate Joshua Pearce, but Sonny wants to prove himself. He tells him like, look, I'm gonna take this car for a lap. If I can get within a second of Pierce's time, then I'm in. And so he takes the car. He does a decent job. He's a little bit behind, but he makes up some time in the last lap. But he ends up crashing. But he was showing a lot of promise, and so he is now on the team. Now, unfortunately, they don't really have like much of a training montage here. Sonny is on the team, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's race day. I would have liked to see a little bit more training, a little more prep, a little more Sonny kind of getting acclimated to F1. But I guess there's a lot of races that they highlight, so they didn't have time for that. Boom, we're in race one. They do an okay job, but when Pierce tries to pass Sonny because Sonny's tires are worn and Pierce has fresh tires, Sonny doesn't let him. Now, normally, look, they're on a team. You would think he would let him, but Sonny wants him to earn his spot. He's not just going to be given it. And so when Pierce is passing, Sonny is aggressive, and they end up colliding. They say it was Pierce's mistake. Pierce hit Sonny's wheel, but they both end up crashing, and they're both out of this race. Race two goes a little better because of some of the antics of Sonny. He, clips some people. People think he's like a firecracker, like a wild element, and so he plays into that. He does some antics, and eventually they end up finishing 10th, which is not great, but it is a huge win for the team. It's their first point that they've ever made. And so they celebrate, and this might be the start of something new. Now, race three It is rainy. It is slick. Sonny and Pierce do a pretty good job. Pierce eventually gets into second place thanks to, some help from Sonny. And Pierce is going to try to overtake the leader. Sonny told him to wait, but Pierce says he sees an opening. He goes for it, hits the turn too hard, hits the turn too fast. The car launches, flies in the air, falls on the ground, blows up in fire. Sonny stops, goes to help, gets Pierce out, but Pierce is injured. And so Pierce is not going to be there for a few weeks. I believe it was 3 weeks. And so now they have to bring in a ringer, and Sonny has to carry the team, which he does well. He starts racing better. They make tweaks to the car. Kate, the like head engineer who is the clearly projected love interest, which was a little bit frustrating. It felt a little bit too, I don't know, preordained, too like by the numbers. But Kate makes some tweaks to the car, changes it to Sonny's liking. He wants it to be like a combat car, one that they're going to take on. It's not going to be like super, super fast. It'll still be fast, but he wants to do really well in the corners so he can like jockey for position. And so when they start making these changes, race four, Sonny gets seventh. Race five, Sonny gets fifth, I believe. And now I thought there was a race six as well. I thought Sonny did well there, but now it is the next race. I have my notes say race six. I think it was race seven, but we'll go with my notes. Race six. Pierce is back, and he has a really weird, abrupt character change because all of a sudden he seems to be very angry with Sonny. Now he's worried that Sonny's going to take his position, but look, there's two racers on a team. They should work together. Sonny's doing well. They're both doing well. Pierce gets very kind of like territorial, turns into like a mean character, like foil character for Sonny. Sonny has the team like basically uh, working with him. There is definitely Sonny's team at this point. They're like exercising with him. They're all gelling. And when Pierce gets in, he seems jealous of Sonny. He seems like he wants to make his mark. Now, Pierce also gets a little bit aggressive with Sonny during this race and ends up clipping him. Sonny gets knocked out, but Pierce ends up finishing ninth. Sonny gets pissed at him because he knew that Pierce did this intentionally. He knew that Pierce was, messing with the team, and Sonny gets angry at him. Pierce is like, "Whoa, look, like, hey, I'm not going to give you position," just like Sonny did in the first race. Now, it's race seven. Kate, under the direction of Ruben, decides that they are going to like squash their beef. She invites them both secretly to dinner. They both end up coming, and now we have a like heart to heart with all three of them. They play poker. They hash each other out. She makes them like say nice things about each other. It is a fun scene. There is definitely some like fun banter here. There's definitely a little bit of like a little bit of jockeying for position. And the reason they're playing poker is the winner of the poker game gets to be the number one racer. If Sonny wins, he's number one. If Pierce wins, he's number one. And if Kate wins, she gets to choose. So they're playing. Eventually, Pierce and Sonny get a little bit of like begrudging respect for each other, and Pierce goes all in. Sonny goes all in as well, and they call it. And Pierce flips over his cards. He has a pair of fives. Sonny folds, doesn't even show his cards. Pierce gets excited and leaves, but when he leaves, Kate looks at his cards, and Sonny had a pair of kings. So he could have won. He could have won that hand, but he let Pierce win to like help with the confidence, help with the overall team aspect, and so that was a nice move. And then after this, Sonny and Kate hook up. Kate says basically like she doesn't get involved with drivers, especially not during the season, and then she like breaks all of her rules to hook up with Sonny. It's Brad Pitt. I'm sure it was fantastic, but it did feel very by the numbers. Now, the next day, everyone's feeling good. Pierce is feeling good. Sonny's feeling good. But they have a problem. Someone anonymously tipped the organization, the like governing organization, that these tweaks that they've been making to their car were like not in accordance with the rules, that they were getting like outside help. This is all false, but the organization has like doctored, or what the F1 team says are doctored plans that show that these were manufactured elsewhere or something like that. That means that they have to go back to their original design, the design that isn't, optimized for the way that they're racing. And this is going to derail their plans. They were doing really well. They were gelling as a team, and now they have to go back to their old design, which couldn't win a race. Sonny gets pissed about this, and this is a weird, weird scene because, like, look, if Sonny's the way his character was developing, it would be just like, look, that sucks. Let's do what we can. Let's like, make them pay, something like that. He would have like drove aggressively. He would have caused havoc. That's how Sonny would have done. But no, now Sonny's just angry. He just races, like doesn't say anything, doesn't listen to anything, gets really, really angry, takes a turn too quick, and crashes his car. Again, it was annoying. It was a weird like character devolving, the character like regression for Sonny, whereas Pierce and then they seem to be doing well. It was kind of like when Pierce all of a sudden became a foil. They had too many like very quick character turns in this movie. Now Sonny's generally okay, but he goes to the hospital, and in the hospital, Ruben comes to see him, and he tells him like he never should have raced. He sees the like hospital report from Sonny's first race, the first crash he had that derailed his career for 10 years. And the report basically says like another crash could cause him to like lose his eyesight, could cause him to die. And so Ruben is like, I can't have this. Like, I can't put you out there like this. You're off the team. But after all this, after Sonny gets kicked off the team, Banning, who was one of the board members, one of the people that was like trying to like oust Ruben, goes up to Sonny and basically says like, "Hey, look, like all of your antics have got some interest. I've got some buyers who want to put together an offer for the team, but you have to go with it." So basically, he offers Sonny a position on the new team. He would be kind of like the manager, and Sonny's like, "What about Ruben?" And like, "Oh, we'll give him like some sort of title to save face, so he's not like kicked out on the curb." But basically, Banning, who is a board member who should be looking out for the best interests of the team, wants to like organize a deal, buy the team out from under. He would be kind of like the head of the board, and Sonny would be the person running it. It's an attractive offer, but we will see if Sonny takes it. All that has to happen is the team has to lose. But so fast forward to the last race. It is in Abu Dhabi. Pierce and the team are down without Sonny because he's been kicked out. But Pierce does what he can. He rallies the team. They go on a run just like Sonny used to do. And when they approach the pit, wouldn't you know it? Sonny shows up. He purchased his own ticket to get there. He had a Mexican lawyer draft up a like a release of liability to release Ruben and the team from any liability that might happen from any injuries he gets. It's an interesting tactic, and now Sonny is back on the team. And when they go out for this race, both Sonny and Pierce are finally racing like a team. They are strategizing to like push each other ahead. Sonny will like annoy the back racers to give Pierce some more time to get a lead, and then Pierce will strategically pit so that Sonny can get up. Eventually, they do very, very well, and they get to like 3 and 4. But that is when Sonny ends up crashing, and it looks like it could be a strategic thing because the way it works out for everyone, especially Pierce. It was just a fluke accident. Someone like bumped him, he went into the wall, and they have this thing called like a red flag where they have to stop the race for 10 minutes. And in that time, Sonny's car is able to be rebuilt. They are able to replace the tires, and now there are 3 laps left in this race. Pierce and Sonny are in position 3 and 4, and it is going to be a mad dash to the end. They go. Pierce and Sonny work together really well to overtake number 4, and eventually it is the leader, Pierce in 2, and Sonny in 3. Now Pierce wants number 1. He gets an opening. He decides to take it. But when he's trying to overtake the leader clips him. Both Pierce and the leader crash, and Sonny has a free reign to take over. And, Pierce is excited for him. He tells Sonny, go, go, win. And then we have this really weird scene where all of a sudden it like becomes very quiet. You would think this would be like the time when you want to roar the engines, where you want to see Sonny take a victory lap. It becomes very quiet. He basically kind of drives a perfect lap, which was nice, but it would have been nice to have a little bit of sound there. It was a very weird quiet moment, but Sonny basically drives a perfect lap, ends up winning, takes first place. The team is ecstatic. This is the first like victory that they've had, the first place victory. It was Sonny's first victory in an F1 race. He had finally proven that he could do it. Everyone's excited. Everyone celebrates, except for Sonny. He celebrates a little bit, and then he decides to pack up. Kate sees him in his hotel room. She, asks what he's doing. He said he's gonna move on. He basically, tells her that he hopes to see her again, and they have like a bittersweet goodbye kiss. And Sonny leaves. He sees Pierce along the way. Pierce is angry that he's leaving, but Sonny tells him like it's your team now. and do well, that he's going to be watching him. So Pierce and Sonny have a heart to heart. Sonny leaves the celebration. The next we see him, he is driving to Mexico to do this Baja race they talked about at the very start. He wanted to do it at the start. Now that he has had his F1 time, made, I guess, presumably a ton of money, he's now going to go down there to race in Baja. He gets there. They ask him, who his name. He says Sonny Hayes. They're like, we can't pay you that much. He's like, that's fine. And then now Sonny has a new team, a Baja Racing Mexico team. So that is F1. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was entertaining. Weird character shifts. Felt like some of the characters were not consistent, and it is overly long. But it is still a fun experience. Definitely something to see in theaters. And also during the credits, you see some scenes of like Sonny racing, practicing on the like Mexican dunes in these like Baja beach buggies. It's fun to see. It's kind of like a nice little like cherry on top. I don't know. I would have wished he would have stayed. I don't. His character, I guess, always wanted to move on, but you think now that he had finally found a home, now that he finally found a team, now that he was really kind of like imprinting on this area, he would have just stayed and not kept moving, but I guess that wouldn't have been Sonny's style. So that is F1 the movie. Like I said, it comes to theaters on June 27th, 2025. If you do check it out, let me know what you think. Let me know what you liked and didn't like. I would love to hear it. And thanks so much for watching. If you like this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.